Hi everyone, Sandra Vail here at Homesteading Ways, and today I'm going to show you how to make a super easy yet really good rhubarb pie. First things first, turn your oven onto 350. Then we're going to start with the filling. In this bowl here I have 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Here are just 2 beaten eggs, and then your rhubarb, that's 4 cups. Now if you want to do something besides rhubarb, or let's say you don't have 4 cups of rhubarb, you can easily do berries. So if you have 2 cups of rhubarb, do an additional 2 cups of strawberries or blueberries or raspberries. I made this pie on Mother's Day with rhubarb and raspberries, and it was fabulous. So go ahead and do that. My only advice is, if you're going to use frozen berries, make sure they're completely thawed, and then try and dry them out a little bit with paper towels. So the less moisture the better. Otherwise just use fresh berries. So anyways, I have this mixed up, and we're going to add the eggs to it. And we're just going to stir that up. Alrighty, it's all stirred up and it's thick, so don't worry about that if it's on the thick side. Now one thing I'm going to add to this that wasn't in the original recipe, and by the way, I got this recipe from a friend of mine off of Facebook. I'm adding about 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla. You don't have to do that, that's just an optional thing. But I thought that would add a little something good to it, and it did when I baked the pie. So I'm just mixing that in a little bit, and then we're going to get our rhubarb in there. Now this is rhubarb I grew myself, so I washed it before I cut it up, and then I rinsed it again. So there is a little bit of moisture in there. I did have it draining, but there is a little bit. Well, a few pieces. And then you're just going to mix this up. Make sure most of it's coated. It's not a big deal if you have 1 or 2 random pieces, as you'll see. So that's pretty well coated. Next we're going to put it in our pie crust. Now if you want to make your own pie crust, by all means go ahead. I'm not that great at making pie crust, but besides that, this is supposed to be an easy pie, right? So I have a ready-made here. It's a frozen one, and it just depends on the brand that you have, but this particular pie crust has it where you don't take it out of the freezer until you're ready to get your pie in the oven. So that's kind of neat, because then you don't have to worry about thawing it out. You can just take it right when you need it. So you're just going to pour this in here. And this isn't a deep dish pie crust, just so you know. It's just a standard. Originally this recipe called it a rhubarb custard pie, but I really wouldn't consider it a custard. It is creamy though. It's very delicious, a very creamy, I don't know, yummy texture. And it says, you know, to serve it warm. And on Mother's Day, I took it out of the oven, I'd say about an hour before everyone planned on eating it. And it was a warm day. So it was still warm, but it wasn't like piping hot out of the oven. So you don't have to refrigerate it if you're going to be eating it soon. So just, you know, try and even it out here, and then we're going to do the topping. Alright, so in this bowl I have 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of flour, and a half a cup of butter sliced up, and a dash of salt. And you're gonna, if you have a pastry cutter, go ahead and use it. I can't find mine since I moved, so I'm gonna use this big fork. And you just want to get, you know, that crumbly texture, kind of like you would with like a strudel. That's about how you want it. Now this took too long with the forks. I ended up using my hands. But one word about the butter, make sure the butter's chilled. You don't want a room temperature or a soft butter. You don't want to rock hard either, because it'll take you a while to do it that way. So if you can get it, you know, just at that perfect little, it's solid and chilled, not soft at all, that's probably your best bet. So let's get it on top of the pie here. Just spread it around all over the top. Now when this is done, it is fabulous with some vanilla ice cream on the side, or maybe even just a little bit of whipped cream. But you don't need it. It's wonderful by itself. This topping gets a little crunchy, and it's a really nice contrast to the creamy inside of the pie. I wish I would have known about this simple recipe a few years back. I've only done it a few times, but I'm glad I did, and so I wanted to share it with you guys, especially now when rhubarb is in season. And if you don't grow any, if you don't have a rhubarb patch, go ahead and look at your farmer's market or even your local grocery store. Chances are they have some there right now. So now we're going to take this pie, we're going to put it in the oven, the 350 oven, for an hour. It is out of the oven, and man, does that smell good. I'll try and get you a little bit of a close-up. That is going to be so good. Can't cut it till it cools down just a little bit. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you really do make the pie, because you won't regret it. It's a fabulous pie. If you did like the video, please make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. That would be awesome. And make sure when you subscribe to click on that little bell and check the box for notifications, so you will get every video as soon as they're ready. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. It was really cool of you to do that. It was nice talking to you. And you take care.